So let's talk about what it really takes to build a champion's mindset. Because, it's not about your talent, it's not about luck. It all boils down to one single decision you have to make.
And it all kicks off with this one simple question. Seriously, what kind of life do you actually want to live? This isn't just some motivational poster stuff. The whole idea here is that success is a choice, a decision that only you can make. So, what's it going to be?
You can really see the two paths laid out right here. Over on one side, you've got the average person. They're the one making excuses when things get tough, avoiding pain at all costs, and, well, they end up settling. But then you look at the other side. That's the champion. They take responsibility, they actually embrace the pain, and they are always, always striving for greatness. The point is, you get to choose which one of these columns you live in.
And that brings us right to our first big idea, the choice. This is the foundation for everything else. Before you do any work, before you set a single goal, you have to make a conscious, deliberate decision about who you want to become. And you have to understand, the source material is incredibly blunt about this. Being average isn't seen as just okay or a neutral state. It's called a plague, a dream killer. For someone with a champion's mindset, mediocrity is not a backup plan. It's the absolute enemy. It is something you have to actively fight against every single day. Okay, so if mediocrity is the enemy, what's its main weapon against you? It's this, right here, excuses. The whole insight is pretty simple when you think about it. Champions make adjustments when things go sideways. They don't waste time looking for someone or something to blame.
And yeah, the source really doesn't pull any punches with a quote like this. It's harsh, I know, but it's powerful. The second you start making an excuse, you've pretty much just accepted defeat. You've given away your power and your responsibility.
I think this is such a powerful way to think about it. Your words, what you say out loud, are a creative weapon. So the question is, how are you using that weapon? Are you using it to create the future you want? Declaring what you're going to do, taking ownership? Or are you just using it to hand out excuses and justify why you're standing still? The choice is yours.
All right, so we've decided to eliminate excuses. What's next on the list? Well, this is where it starts to get really tough. We have to talk about pain, but not in the way you think, not as something to run away from. No, the source material frames pain as the very place where greatness is forged. Let's really dig into this idea for a second because it's kind of radical. Everything you do before you hit that wall, before you feel that burn and that deep discomfort, that's just the warm-up. Because here's the punchline. For a champion, pain is the starting line. It's not the finish line. It's the signal that the real work, the stuff that actually builds you and creates change, has just begun. So how do you even get there? It's all about conditioning. The whole idea is to deliberately and consistently put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You have to push past what you think your limits are over and over and over again. And what happens when you do that? You basically become immune to it. The very thing that makes most people quit, that becomes your new comfort zone. You build a kind of resilience that almost nobody else has. Now let's just step outside the gym for a minute, because this isn't only about physical training. Life is messy, it's unpredictable, and it will absolutely hit you in the face when you least expect it. So here's the crucial part. It's not about whether you get hit or not, because you will. It's about how you respond after you get hit. Do you stay down, or do you get back up, dust yourself off, and keep coming forward again and again? That response, that's what separates a champion from literally everyone else. So, we've made the choice. We've thrown out the excuses. We're learning to embrace pain. But how do we actually put all this into practice? Well, that leads us to the price of greatness. And according to the source, it's only paid with one currency: relentless hard work. And the path to commitment is laid out super clearly. First, you have to truly decide you're ready to change. Then, you fully commit. You go all in, no half measures. After that, you take total responsibility. No more blaming anyone for where you are. And then, you just get up every single day and you do the work. It's simple, but it's not easy. So what is it that drives that daily grind? Well, here's the fuel. It's not just a casual interest. We're talking about an obsession. It's this powerful mix of passion and intense laser-like focus and unbelievable work ethic. And it's all built on that core refusal to settle for being average. And this brings us to our final and maybe the most critical idea of them all. When all is said and done, the real battle for greatness, it's not against your competition, it's not against some outside force. The ultimate opponent is you.
See, champions aren't built on secret formulas or finding some magic shortcut. They become phenomenal by mastering the absolute basics. They do the simple, sometimes boring, fundamental things perfectly, day in and day out. No shortcuts. That discipline, that's their superpower.
This line right here captures the mindset perfectly. For a champion, there is no off season. That period of time when everybody else is resting and taking a break, that is the season. That's the time to work, to get better, to get ahead. And this isn't just about sports. It's true for your career, your skills, any part of your life.
And that really brings us right to the heart of this whole thing. Your biggest opponent, the one holding you back the most, isn't out there somewhere. It's the person looking back at you in the mirror every morning. It's your own doubt, your own laziness, your own desire for comfort. If you can conquer that opponent, you can conquer anything.
And so we end up right back where we started, with a question for you. After everything we've talked about, the choice, the pain, the commitment, the daily battle with yourself, it all comes down to this one simple thing. How bad do you really want it? Because the answer to that question, well, that's going to define your entire life.